It's the only fight that makes sense for the both of us. One, I mean, you know, like we got egos. Like I know that I'm better than him and I want to go beat him and I want to prove that I'm the better striker. I'm the better fighter, just all around in general. And I hate the way that he answers questions when he gets asked about me. Sean's been on the record for being like, this is a business to me. I want to take the easiest fight for the most amount of money. As a fan, like Sean as a person, I'm not going to carry any hatred towards him or jealousy or anything like that. I like Sean as a person. As a fan, I don't think the way that type of character or whatever is interesting or inspiring at all. I think that one of the most biggest gifts that we have as athletes to give to people is inspiration to like go do something cool with your life too. That means stepping up to the plate, taking big risks, like I have in my entire career. It's like, why would you take a fight against Umar? He's down in the rankings, but so because if I win, then I get to inspire a bunch of people. Yep. If I go out and I beat Marab or I beat Jan or whatever, I get to inspire a bunch of people because I know that I took the hard road to get here. O'Malley's not about that life, so I can't be like a fan of that dude in that way.
You know? Think that he's avoiding?
Yeah.
The matchup? Why?
Watch the way that he answers all of the questions. I don't know why. From his perspective, it's like, Cory's a tough fight. Why would I take a tough fight when I could take an easier fight and make just as much money? That's like not the type of thinking that I walk around in life with. So
Cory Sandhagen unleashed criticism on Sean O'Malley's business-first fighting mentality following O'Malley's upcoming octagon return at UFC Freedom 250 this June. O'Malley will clash with surgeon contender Aman Zahabi in what promises to be a #1 contender bout, with the victor expected to challenge whoever emerges victorious from the planned Mirab Dawarsh William vs. Peter Jan trilogy showdown. This matchup caught fans off guard, as many had been demanding a long-awaited battle between O'Malley and Sanhagen, a dream fight that's remained on enthusiasts' radar for years. Though both fighters have occupied prominent positions in the title conversation for an extended period, they've surprisingly never met inside the cage. While Sanhagen remains in limbo regarding his next opponent, he unleashed his frustrations about O'Malley during a candid conversation with Daniel Cormier, blasting O'Malley for dodging another potential clash at UFC Freedom 250.
We've never been face-to-face. Actually, we were face-to-face in Disneyland. I don't know if you remember that.
Dude, I know.
Disneyland.
My wife was like, how long has it been since you've seen Demetrious? Like, when we were at Disneyland. She's like, oh, yeah.
So we're supposed to fight.
Yeah.
Right? You remember that?
Yeah.
I never forget when they called me. They was like, I want you to fight Cejudo. And I was like, pay me $1 million.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the first time they introduced that to me is right when I was about to fight Kyojo Horiguchi. We just did the big press conference.
Yeah.
I remember I was coming out of it and Dana White was walking this way. And he was like, I was like, I'm looking for that super fight. And he goes, why don't you fight Cejudo? And I was like, pay me $1 million. He goes, I can't pay what you don't bring in. And I was like, that means you don't need it to happen.
Demetrious Johnson finally disclosed the real reason behind his failed super fight with TJ Dillashaw that never materialized. Years ago, when both warriors held championship gold in their respective weight classes, fight fans desperately craved a cross-divisional showdown between these elite competitors. During a fresh interview on Dillashaw's YouTube platform, Johnson exposed that their dream bout collapsed because Dana White rejected paying the requested $1 million fee, claiming Johnson lacked the drawing power to justify such a massive UFC investment.
I was talking to Dana and it was like, well, I'll go 25s. I'll fight Demetrious. And I just want a belt. Like, I'm the champion. I want a fucking belt. You know, I was like, I'll make 25s.
No.
And I wasn't working with Sam yet, so it would have been even worse. So it was just me being what I call delusionally optimistic, and it took me very far, but it also got me into trouble.
Yeah.
Right. It got me into the shoulder I have, got me in trouble. Like, being delusionally optimistic is a very powerful thing, but you got to control it. You know what I mean? So I was like, let's fight. I'll fight Demetrious. And so like, that was the plan. For like 3 days, it was like, I started cutting weight right then and there. I started
God.
So, and he called me like 3 days later. He's like, champ fight's not going to happen. I was like, all right, I'm going to go eat a cheeseburger. You know, like, I was like,
TJ Dillashaw offered his perspective on why the highly anticipated super fight with Mighty Mouse fell through and never reached fruition.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an amazing fight, man, and I'm just honored to be able to compete against this man. You know, we've been very cordial with each other. I don't know what he said about me, so maybe he's not, but either way, I'm going to keep the respect because I admire what he's done in this sport, and I I've taken a lot of inspiration from some of his wins, especially, you know, when he said about fortifying your mind against Alex Pereira the second time he beat him, because he was getting hurt in that fight and was on his way to lose again. And just that split-second decision he made to be able to curl up and then shoot a shot is what gave him probably the best comeback win, and I would say some of the greatest MMA fights.
Joe Pyfer expressed deep honor about his upcoming collision with Israel Adesanya in their scheduled encounter. Speaking exclusively to UFC on Paramount before their imminent battle, Pyfer revealed how Adesanya's triumphant victory over Alex Pereira served as motivation, while detailing his profound admiration and respect for Izzy's accomplishments.
Yes.
Why do you say that?
It depends on what fashion, but I mean, I think so, bro. I think when the ship has sailed, the ship has sailed, dude. I think you just come into realization that it's probably not even, and I'm speaking for myself. Maybe it's not so much the talent, but it's more the desire, and it's more of, I want to do other things with my time now. And there's things that you enjoy more. I think Israel's already there. He's already DJing. He's doing a bunch of other stuff. Like, he's already kind of planning for his future. So when people already start to do things already, like, they already know the time is coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even for me, I was already in real estate, the content business pretty heavy. So yeah, I do feel like if Israel does get finished or loses in this fight, like...
Henry Cejudo predicts Israel Adesanya will hang up his gloves if he suffers defeat this weekend in his upcoming contest. With Adesanya dropping 4 of his previous 5 encounters and reaching 36 years of age, speculation about his fighting future intensifies with each passing day. On the latest Pound for Pound podcast episode, alongside Kamaru Usman, Cejudo drew from personal experience, explaining how achieving monumental success can diminish one's competitive drive, suggesting Adesanya might choose retirement knowing his athletic peak could be behind him.
I don't feel like Dana White is convinced that he's going to give this guy the title shot, because if not, he would have been like, Eloyev's next, like, he's got it. It was like this. You know how when Dana White didn't like Merab for a minute, and then Merab put it on me. And what did he say right after the fight? He said, Merab's got the next title shot. I cannot deny this kid no more. Like, when you don't get that answer from Dana White, it makes it a lot more difficult, though. So, and the only reason why I do say that, too, is because they flew out Gene Silva. According to Gene Silva, I'm quoting him, that Hunter Campbell flew him out. When he brought the contract, gave it to Dana White, said, hey, Dana White, sign this.
Cejudo believes Adesanya's career has reached its conclusion and he's finished competing at the highest level. He also analyzed the Movsar Evloev versus Laron Murphy bout, stating that despite Evloev's victory, Dana White remains unconvinced about granting him a championship opportunity. Otherwise, the title shot announcement would have happened immediately on fight night.
45 pounds once. Fuck. But my worst cut was when I had to fight Sakuraba. There was no weight classes, but they made me lose 27 pounds, and they gave me 3 hours to do it.
Shit.
I had to lose 27 pounds in 3 hours, but they wanted me to do it the day of the fight. I'm like, nah, I'm not fighting them there.
No, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah,
they wanted me to be like really weak. And I'm gonna say this right now, since it's Pride FC, because of the way they treated me.
Mm-hmm.
I know people might not believe me, but I really do think they poisoned me or something.
Think so?
Yeah, because it was Sakuraba. If you guys understand what Sakuraba was to Pride back then. So I already got to Japan late because I got arrested trying to leave the airport.
No kidding.
No kidding. I got arrested. A Terry Trevorcock bailed me out. So I went to Japan like the next day after I got bailed out. And I think I got bailed out and they had me a ticket to Japan the next morning. So I'm already 2 days behind. So I'm jet lagged. I get there and I got the stuff that they give you and stuff like that. And I'm drinking. I don't know if it's traveler's diarrhea or nothing, but I had like an upset stomach. And then after the fight with Sakuraba, as soon as the fight was over in the locker room, I took I felt fine.
Really?
Yeah. And, these people that was like my handlers, who my manager had to deal with, they were evil Japanese people named Yukino and Hideki. There was a couple, and they was like the hunter, the guy that works with Dana White.
Yep.
He was like his position, whatever they was like the guys that your managers deal with. They was chemists. That's what their profession was. They was killing.
I could see them doing something like that for sure.
Yeah, they hated my guts. So when I fought Sakuraba, I was jet lagged, and I was more worried about myself than getting unbarred.
Rampage Jackson recounted an incredible tale about the preparation leading to one of his most memorable Pride Fighting Championship battles. Jackson faced a baptism by fire in his Pride debut when he confronted Japanese legend Kazushi Sakuraba at Pride 15 in July 2001. This opportunity arose after Jackson dominated 10 of his initial 11 professional contests, while Sakuraba sat atop the mixed martial arts world following his systematic destruction of 3 Gracie family members. However, Jackson's greatest pre-fight challenge occurred in the hours before meeting Sakuraba, as he shared an unbelievable story on Coach Tim Welch's Red Hawk Recap podcast about shedding nearly 30 pounds in merely 3 hours.
Yeah, and look, I think, you know, he's the deserving one, and there's a lot of like that John Silver or whatever his name is making barking like the little dog that he is in the background, trying to make a lot of noise to make himself think he's the next one, but he's not deserving. There's still Aljo and there's guys above him. He's got to earn his spot. Don't think because you make a lot of noise you're going to get it, because you're not.
Jean Silva's championship aspirations appear distant according to recent statements from Alexander Volkanovski's camp. During a Fresh Submission Radio interview, Volkanovski's coach Joe Lopez firmly stated their complete disinterest in facing Silva in the octagon. Lopez declared that aggressive call-outs, noise-making, and attempting to force title contention won't secure a championship opportunity, emphasizing that more worthy challengers like Movsar Evloev and Aljamain Sterling deserve precedence in the division hierarchy.
What did you think of Movsar's performance over Murphy?
Well, realistically, I judged the fight a draw, but I'm glad it didn't end up at a draw, because then we'd be in a real, probably Lopez 3. So I'm glad that didn't happen. So I'm glad Movsar got on top. He's been hanging there for a long time. So, we're glad for that matchup.
Lopez also commented on the Movsar Evloev versus Laron Murphy contest, expressing relief that it didn't conclude in a stalemate, humorously suggesting that Diego Lopez might have received an undeserved third championship shot otherwise.
Essa pesei demais essa blusa, tênis tava demais, velho. Essa aqui também tá muito pesada.
Alex Pereira has reached true heavyweight status according to his latest social media revelation. In a recent video posted across his platforms, Powhatan disclosed his current weight of 247 pounds, matching the exact same mass as his next challenger Cyril Gane weighed during his bout against Tom Aspinall. Pereira made an appearance at an EA Sports photography session last evening, dropping hints that he could potentially grace the cover of the upcoming UFC video game installment.
Pereira, right? He asking who's gonna win, who would win, me or Strickland?
Shama. Oh, look at the head. Look.
Shama. She want to call you, ask you a question.
Alex, Sean Strickland or Dillon Danis?
What is that?
He said John Strickland.
In a fight?
Dylan, you're crazy.
In a fight?
Dylan.
Submission?
Yeah.
Takedown? Submission? You serious? Yeah. Takedown, submission. So in a fight, I take down easy,
But you'd have to get to him.
I could take him down. He stands like this. Yes.
I gotta
Sean.
take it. Sean. He's great.
No, is he Sean Strickland? Grappling 0. The grappling 0, I take down easy. Rear naked choke. Easy money.
Alex Pereira delivered brutally honest commentary regarding a hypothetical matchup between Sean Strickland and Dillon Danis during a recent interaction. While Danis live-streamed with Nina Drama, she FaceTimed Pereira, who was sitting nearby during the broadcast. Pereira spoke directly to Danis, bluntly stating that Strickland would defeat him convincingly in any potential confrontation, a declaration that visibly frustrated Danis throughout the exchange.
Come on, we're battling.
No, 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 no! No! Don't get this angle. No,
Tab?
I can't tab.
You know Kobe's gonna be like
I don't like this position.
Well, that's Kobe's gonna be saying too, but he has no choice.
No.
You can put it behind your head.
Every camera turn in the other direction. I don't like this position. Get off me. No.
So I'm gonna pin him like this.
Dylan.
Like this. And then I'm gonna look at the crowd and give the finger. So where's the camera? So
Why would I end up in this position?
And I'm gonna pin Kobe like this.
Dylan.
So I've been telling him all day this is how I'm gonna pin him. Pretty good, right? Can he move?
No.
Try to get out. So he's pinned, you see? Then I could do this, I could do finger, I can give him like a noogie, I can do whatever I want.
During the same live stream, Dillon demonstrated various grappling techniques to Nina and maneuvered her into an unusual wrestling hold for the audience. The internet's top 3 memes have been compiled from recent social media activity. The bronze medal meme originated from the Undisputed Take account's creative post. The silver medal position belongs to a hilarious meme shared by the Wary Breath social media account. The gold medal winner comes from Imaginary General's brilliant meme creation that dominated online engagement. Thanks for tuning into today's coverage. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for consistent daily MMA content. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more updates.